What's up? Kareem again, KAA, with the next video, next subject to discuss. Uh, Now I want to discuss culture because that's something important too. We had after the introduction to observe the inspiration, and I think we need to go further into culture. So, what is culture? A culture is something that everybody knows is not only a religion, it's an art of living, being, culture, to cultivate something. And actually, even our own body is a culture because in biology, to cultivate tissue and so on. So, you know that culture is something central in your life. Uh, Before I started the video, I asked the universe for some advice. What should I bring up with culture too? And what came out is I got an oracle. It's called the Anubis Oracle, a journey into shamanic mysteries of Egypt. It's cool. It's a really deep knowledge. So you have some cards in there, 35 to be exact, and the card magic came up with culture. So I think we need to understand um, that magic is always something with us. People say magic is like they think of David Blaine or maybe David Copperfield or other magicians in history, Houdini and all that. So, not only magic, it's up in this card, it's medicine, woman, and integration, okay? So, medicine, as we already discussed, it's in meditation, medicine, and out of all that, this culture rises, no matter what culture. Now, I want to go a little bit further from the core of culture. Some people have their own culture nowadays. When we talk about people um, having let's just say their own community, okay, and they have this culture, this cult, where they worship an idol or they worship together a god. It doesn't matter, the important thing is always to accept, not to disrespect, because that won't connect and you will break your own neck. This is, out of hip hop, and that's a culture too. And what KRS-One always tells us is hip hop is alive because a culture is alive. A culture is not something that is dead because it's cultivated. If you don't cultivate it, it's gonna end up dead for you. But the culture itself will be always a core that will rise again. So I just want to show you just short that my friend he returned from Brazil and he brought me a present. Here we go. I asked him for that and he returned it as a gift. Everybody knows it's Jesus on the top of Rio's mountain there. So what I like about that culture, if we call it Christianity, is actually I call it the culture of forgiveness. And what I like about that statue in Rio is there is no cross because Jesus is not more on the cross, he rised. This is a mad respect to Brazil that they have this Jesus statue without the cross. And right there is where culture starts, the understanding of a culture. So we have the facts, we have the knowledge, we have scholars, we have, it's like a child asking the mother, who's my father? She is the witness who's the father. So the culture is the witness for God or the universe or yourself. See it as you want it. Culture is something, if you study it deeply, you will find there is a purpose behind it that gives life to everything. The culture inspires people. If you keep your culture alive and you be true to your culture, culture will answer you. This is just always the universe in different kind of um, forms, formations. So you see, back in the days, in the ancient days, when they had these magicians and when they had, these people, these shamans, these shamans, they were connected to the spiritual world and it's infinite, as we already talked about it. But what I want to mention more is that in culture, the magic is infinite too. Okay, now I repeat myself as what you think. I just want to say it again. In culture, the magic is infinite too. I want to tell you that magic nowadays is seen as something just in movies or as legends. Magic exists. Just the fact that I took this card because I asked the universe like that with the whole deck of the cards, what do you think about culture? And this one came out. Magic. It's Hathor. You see, the picture shows uh, a female form. So we always need to understand that to be in contact with magic is to be in contact with the female part. Not that the male part can't have magic, but magic is coming out of nature. And we all were born from our mother. So a child is something magic. A baby is something magic. To me, it's a gift of the universe. That's why I told you it, holding it up to the stars. So don't misunderstand that sometimes in in the culture, people in this culture are not living according to the principles and codes. So a code, what is a code? This is not the code of Leonardo da Vinci. Not only that, a code is not what you enter when you go and withdraw money. A code is not only something you have to enter your phone to unlock it. A code is something you live, a principle. You have something that you will never break, because if you break it, you will fall back. And if you realize it real fast, you come back up again. But if you keep doing it every day on, you will be down for the rest of this period that you don't realize. A code is, even some people, they say sacrifice is just a word. No, it's a code. To sacrifice yourself, to to like Jesus did, like all spiritual teachers did, to sacrifice something. And when you sacrifice your body, you go beyond. you come into the culture itself, because everybody can, from the bottom, they can rise with a new culture. Anybody, you, me, her, she, him, doesn't matter. Anybody can start a culture. But now we come on back what I said in my last video. Think about always the core. The core is important, because if you have no core, it's not going to be stable. So you want a culture that is for everybody, where everybody can benefit, where everybody can contribute to the community, to the culture, to the individuals in it, and that every individual in the culture is as same respected as the elders inside this culture, because they are part of this community, this so-called chain. So to live a culture is to live your own life the righteous way. This is what the Jamaican people say. Righteousness is to have moral standards. What is a standard? Earlier it was a flag to show something, but we are not here to show off, but you have to take that metaphorically. You need to see the flag that represents something. It can be, the flag can be invisible. It's just about the standard that you have. It's a constant, a continuation of something that is going on. So if we see now in these societies, we have a lot of problems about culture, because some people think their culture is the right thing, and the other people say their culture is the right thing. And the wise people in the cultures themselves, they know that they live accordingly to their principles and codes and sacrifices and rituals they do. But at the same time, it's happening somewhere else in a completely different way, but with the same core. So it is crucial to understand that the universe denotes magic in every pattern, in every human being, and it shows magic in different details in the creation. It is a miracle and it's magic that if a star explodes after a supernova, there's a neutron star, there's another black hole coming out of it, and so on. This is an infinite cycle. So this, if we go further about all that energy, because if you're going to watch it online or ask a scientist what a neutron star has, it has a lot of power like a black hole has. So it's energy. Because like the Sagittarius A star in the center of our galaxy, the black hole, which is the center, has a lot amount of energy. So if we have this energy principle, think about that infinite cycle. So there must be somewhere an invention where you have unlimited energy. And when we have unlimited energy, there's no more need for people to gain from that, because it will be available for everybody, and everybody will rise from it to a higher purpose. Even now, maybe you think this guy's crazy, but I'm telling you, even those people who are oppressing us, okay, who are right now controlling the system, even those will benefit from it. This is what you have to understand, because they exist, because the universe allows it, tolerates it. Of course, there are people who are welcomed, and those who raise the consciousness, even for those people who are just tolerated. Just tolerated is because you disconnect yourself from the universe. How do you disconnect yourself from the universe? By just thinking that you are privileged and the other is not, excluded. If you exclude something, you take a portion, or just even if it's a little point, out of your perspective. So you mean you will not have any more than 360 degrees, you're gonna have maybe 359.99 degrees. There is one missing. You don't have the 360. Not talking about the 361, because when you realize that, you have the complete picture. So culture is something that goes really deep into our genome, it goes deep into our body, it goes deep into our DNA, the divine nucleus architecture, okay? So don't spiritually neglect your intuition that what I'm saying right now could have a small portion of truth. I'm just telling you stuff or information or knowledge. Doesn't matter if I say stuff or I express it more wisely, like I'm giving you this knowledge or these secrets. It's just, it's elements, it's words. Go research it for yourself, experience it, research. You know what I mean? Research. Search it again, because we already had that. The universe creates language, is created by people. But as I told you, the universe has all its ways to come through anything. So research. The universe wants to send us a message. Research it. Search it again. Seek it. Destroy. Seek and destroy. Seize your ignorance. Not other people. You don't have to point at other people. We need to start with ourselves. Everybody, like you are going home, you live with some people, or you're living alone. If you live with some people, people know they have their room, they can go in there, and when people want to enter, they knock. If they are educated, let's just say if they have respect and are aware of somebody's privacy. So culture goes into that. That's a culture. If somebody is in the room and you're gonna disturb him just by not knocking, it's kind of rude. Depends of what kind of relation you have. In Africa, there are some people or villages or large cities where everybody can go to each other's house because they have a different relationship. But that's another subject, okay? It's just included into this magic culture relationship. It's all connected, but now I want to talk about the culture and the magic inside. Uh, when you're a child, you dream of having special powers. You like the cartoons with all these, superheroes. So when we are born, because children live in their fantasy, you will face the cartoons, because a child lives in fantasy, and cartoons are not just cartoons. I'm telling you straight, I like, DC, Marvel, all that. It's just, we need to go beyond it. Children create that, and they face their reality. Like I'm not saying I create a senseiya, but I'm attracted to the stars. It's actually funny about the song. You ain't gotta be no superstar. You just gotta be who you are. Because then you are the superstar. You are the supernova. You are the black hole. You are a part of God. And God, when you realize that, He will make you even greater. And this is what I'm actually asking from uh, anybody that is listening. Try to when you realize the skills that you have, what you achieved, try to give something back to the universe, because anything you have is because the Creator is merciful and He gave you intelligence, and everything, it's coming out of him, her, or it. So please don't misunderstand it. So when we're talking about culture, magic, superheroes, all that stuff, magic really exists. You need to understand that magic is the source of everything. You need to understand, if we would have a civilization where magic would be practiced in a way that Jesus did, we will have a, I don't say we will have a utopia where everybody lives in peace. Peace will be all around it, the 90.9%. Right now, as Jay Rudadama just says, we have 99.9% whackness. Okay? No disrespect, but you just check the mainstream. I don't say these souls are less value, but everybody likes, they hear stuff, but ignore it. Why shall we listen to that? That doesn't exist. They limit themselves. So I said, like, no limitation, observe your inspiration, and so on. And now we come into culture. So, back to the example of Jesus Christ. I don't know if you know the word necromancy. If you ask scholars in church or some other people, this is really dark magic. But what did Jesus do with Lazarus? He raised him from the dead. This is necromancy. But you need to see the core behind it. Jesus wasn't a black magician or a white magician. He was himself. You gotta be who you are. Your soul. And he did it out of mercy. That was the core. To show that even if you die, you can come back again. And he showed it again when he died on the cross. And now we have him in Brazil as a statue without a cross. Some people did understand that. Okay? Talking about the cross, which comes from the Roman Empire, we will talk about that later, because I want to go into culture and magic, and I myself, I know when I start with a subject, I'm going further. You know that. Maybe you laugh sometimes. I laugh about myself too, because I see how I'm spinning around all the time. So, talking about this culture and magic, when we had Jesus, healing people, make the blind see and all that, there are people which can do that, but we need to allow it to happen. That doesn't come from people that oppress. Maybe it was in the beginning, but we as a conscious people need to accept it. And the problem nowadays is to step back. People don't like that. Not give up, step back. Just, when somebody comes with a higher consciousness, step back and try to see, observe, learn, and then the other will step back and now show me what you've got out of my message. And this is like a dance, one step, like I told you with Mumia and all that. So, I'm trying to explain that if people can be happy like Mumia Abu Jamal in prison, that's already magic. If you see a human being handcuffed, but is laughing and still, spreading knowledge from the prison, this is culture. Because this is his culture. This is his being, his knowledge that he has. He want to share it with the world. Because knowledge, like Grandmaster Flash did with the Fader, will contribute to the community. And nobody needs to pay for it. He give it for free. Records, there are interviews. You can listen to them. and it's a really high intellectual being speaking, you know. Not only talking about Mumia, I'm talking about KRS-One, Killer Priest, Immortal Technique, Busta Rhymes. And now let me go into another scene, not only hip hop, now let's go into metal. I just started to get some lyrics from them, but Disturbed, check the new album, Immortalized. Immortalized! And one song is the Vengeful One. And in the hook, it goes, I think, like, so sleep soundly in your bed tonight. Judgment falls upon you at first light. Judgment falls at you at first light. When you realize the light, when something is dark and you put the light on, you'll see things. And that is the judgment. You need to face what you did in the darkness. This is like I'm acting in the dark room, I'm doing things, and then I see, oh my God, I destroyed this picture. There's something, you know, I just hit my leg and it hurts. It was there. Or, I cut myself over there. There was like something sharp. I still see the blood on it. You know what I mean? This is, you know, deep. So, rather you realize it before you die or when you die. Because when you die, a lot of people that had near-death experiences, they will tell you they saw a light. I myself, I talked to a devotee in the Krishna consciousness, and he said that he had, I think, some problem with cancer. Don't know exactly because I pray for him. It doesn't matter if you have cancer. I pray. I don't have to know where you have the cancer because I know how bad that is. My grandmother died because of that. My grandfather died because of that. Because of different circumstances, but I'm not scared because it happens in my family. So I just want to give you that for people who know that in their family there were sicknesses, and people nowadays say you need to be careful. Don't go and judge your doctors or whatever. This is just the scientific reality of it, okay? Now we're going to the spiritual part where I said, like Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, we heal from the inside. When I say we, I mean the community of whom? Of the universe, of God, okay? Because any sickness comes from inside. It comes from a disturbance of a frequency, because your soul has a frequency. So if your frequency is disturbed, nothing against the disturbed band, the group, because it's really dope, respect. When it's disturbed, it's disconnecting the true vibe. It's like if you listen to music in radio stations, and then you go through a certain, you drive, or if you have a radio that when you're walking, you go through a certain area where the connection is bad. You hear, you know, these interferences, so it's nothing nice, and you go like, what's going on, you know? And that's why I'm telling you, if you have some sicknesses that you have in your family, don't worry. Think positive, because you are the creator of your reality. You don't have to think, you know, I hit my head really badly. People will think I'll have some tumor or something inside my head. I don't think about that. I hit my head when I was 18. Now I'm 34. I'm still alive, thank God. And we will see what the future brings. So back to this devotee that I knew from Krishna consciousness. He told me that he had near-death experience, and he saw angels and, you know, light beings, and he said, they told me I still have a purpose back there. I need to go back. So it's not like they wouldn't take him, but light beings, higher beings, they serve the cause of the universe. So they tell you not with you go back. They tell you with love, so you automatically will return to your body. So this is something completely different, not with instructions given by force, okay? Because it comes from the inner structure. So he told me it was so nice when he returned back. He don't want to say that he don't appreciate this life, but after when he crossed over there, he liked it more over there. So it's everywhere where you go. You need to realize it now. Do it now, like the song of Mos Def and Busta Rhymes. Do it now, because it's better to be safe than to be sorry. When you just lost something, you're gonna be sorry. But if you appreciate it all the time, like I'm telling you, appreciate your parents, because you will have another um, understanding, overstanding when they die, when they leave their body, because you appreciated all the time they were there. Um, so try to make something out of your life. Try to live your culture. Doesn't matter in which culture you live, you still can. And if you can't do it in your country, emigrate. Go. If it's too dangerous because people getting violent and you don't want to act violently, go. If not, ask. If you can, ask the universe, and I promise you it'll happen. Remember when I told you all that if I would find the animal, I would bury it or burn it. At least I would bury it, because to show respect. Now guess what? Today, always in lunchtime, after lunch, I went back to the truck to meditate a little bit and rest, and I found a dead mouse on the street. I bury it. When I bury it, it's a means to an end for a higher returning from the recycling, a higher consciousness, a higher purpose. Rest in peace. So it is a fact that the universe will interact with you. A fact that the universe will interact automatically. I didn't mean to rhyme, but it came out. So always know that there is purpose inside of the culture. In the Vedic scriptures, it's denoted that this form of human life that we have is a chance to step into other higher consciousness, because this is like the end step from all the organism and animals to the human body to go to a higher state. Some of you who listen to hip hop maybe know the album of Killer Priest. Uh, it's called, think, God's Wrath. Let me just check it. Sorry for not knowing. I can't know everything I have. Let's see right now. We got it. There we are. Planet of the Gods. Sorry, not God's Wrath. That's something else. Planet of the Gods. And there is a song where they say that the mortal attempt this life to become, to transcendent on the end to the super regime of the universe, or the regime of the super universe, and into the existence of spirit existence. That's what I'm telling you. You can come into existence just by being yourself, by being the spirit. Will going back to J. Ruda Damaja when he said, if the mental cannot be moved, there is no longer good and bad, and when there just is, you have the power to form and shape. So this is just all about things that you have in your culture. It is already set for you. But if we keep going on by ignoring the fact that there are other beings on the way to become human, but we kill them and eat them, we get the karma out of it. The liberation is in the animal itself because it gets killed by a higher form. So, but then it comes into the society again. Doesn't mean that it has to be here. Maybe some animals fulfill their whole animal life completely as they had to, and they come into a higher state of being by skipping even the human existence. Doesn't mean, because God God's laws are not written in stone, and this is what Jesus said too. They are not written in stone. So the universe is dynamic, you know, stagnant and dynamic. Because if you're stubborn, the universe is going to be stagnant for you. You think it's just all matter, and it's not. You go outside with your spaceships, you see the universe, you know, this blackness and the stars. This is the material side of the universe. It's beautiful. It's like, for me, it's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. That's, I thank the universe for the creation to see, you know, when NASA and all these space agencies, they go outside and they show us pictures. I appreciate that because it's so beautiful. I always have tears in my eyes when I watch documentaries about black holes and so on. So the culture is there, the magic is there. What are we doing about it? We ignoring the fact that all our cultures, now I'm talking about the cultures that we have, not the religions, the cultures that were before the religions that we know nowadays, not the connection, the religions like Islam, Christianity, the Vedic culture, the Hinduism, and so on. Now, the cultures behind that is to worship a higher being. Worship a higher being, or worship something invisible but know it's there, like the Native American call it the Great Spirit. And the great, that's where I going back where I explained, when I look up I see God and I know what great is. That's why Kareem does mean the great, but I like more generous for me, because like I told you, God is great for me, or the universe is great. I see how small I am in front of it. So the culture is to cultivate something, okay? And why can you create your own culture? Because it's your own consciousness, your own culture. You cultivate your spirit, and so on. You know, this is in every word. Just keep going. You know, I'm doing like this every day. I have a different word that I want to talk about, to show that it's all connected. Sometimes new information comes out, sometimes I repeat myself. But when I repeat myself, it's just that, like I said, gurus in India and even Jesus, they repeated themselves all the time, because this is watering the seed. I told you, you can do it without watering the seed. It'll take a little bit more time. If you pray, it's different, okay? Pray without talking, just praying and thinking about the consciousness that you set the seed inside of somebody's subconscious mind. Um, so the culture is there, the universe is there. So no matter what kind of different cultures we have, okay, or cult, try to respect it. Try not to um, put them in try. When I was going into Krishna consciousness, my mother was always like, that's a sect and all that stuff. That's just wrong information. So I don't have to pay to go to the Krishna temple there. Of course, I need to pay when I eat something there or buy something there, because then they can use the money in their energy and it's always for the Almighty. But if without that, I go, because I never go to church. Okay, no disrespect. I respect the Pope. I respect the Orthodox Church. I respect the Protestant, the Methodic, and all of them. Just a side note, it's sad to see that Christianity broke down in so much pieces, while Jesus didn't want to have a religion with the name he was given, the Christ, just to be with the spirit of it, okay? But that's a side note. So, no disrespect to all these churches, but I don't go there, but I still need to pay taxes because I'm Catholic, okay? I'm not quitting that because I know uh, even in churches we have good people, like rest in peace the priest in Paris that died, and you see what happened. Even uh, the Islam contributed to Christianity because a soul died that didn't that did have to die for a senseless violence, and they came to show appreciation for this being. So no matter what culture you face, no matter how dark you think it is, it's like when you go into a swamp, it's different when you are in the city, and so it is with the cultures. That's what I told you with the classroom. You have these different, you see, you have these different sites. And when we're going back to the spirit, you need to understand that. So there are spirits who like toxic. There are other spirits who like healthy energy. So there is always a reason why something happened, and the reason why we are now in this polluted earth is because we are in the Kali Yuga, but the earth can take it. Like I said, we can't destroy the planet. The planet will destroy us, in fact, if we keep going on the way we do, because the planet is a part of the universe and it's conscious of itself and communicates with the universe. So you need to understand that when we say we have connections, we have nothing in compared to Mother Earth, the planet Earth, because the planet has connections to every star. And when I say star, I mean like our sun. And there are larger suns than our sun. Betelgeuse, UY Scotty, all that. It's just large. And that's just what it's known. Okay? So we have to understand that. The other thing is about that Nibiru, but I'm coming to that later when I have my microphone didn't come today, so didn't have to be, but I hope tomorrow. And about Nibiru will take a little bit because I want to go into further studies for that, for explaining that straight to the people online, because There's a lot of rumors going out, and if you watch the movie that I recommended you, Zodiac, the sign of the apocalypse, it's inside there too with Nibiru. But Nibiru has a crucial point in this solar system, actually in all the universe. But that's another subject, and I need to study that real deeply to make you understand that there is nothing to fear about it. Change is nothing bad. Nibiru always brings changes. Just what I can say for rounding it up the details that I will present you later. Nibiru brings changes, okay? And we have a song. I will do another video about that too from Rakim Allah, okay? Big mad respect for this hip hop artist. They call him the God, and there's a reason why they call him the God, because if you study his lyrics, actually right now it's his music playing in the background. You see, there's no coincidence. There's just inspiration. So you need to see why people call him the God, because um, he did a song back in 1998, I think, on the album The 18th Letter, The Mystery Who is God. Google it. If not, I think you should find it online. I recommend you, if you like hip hop, to buy it. There's not a commercial. It's for your consciousness, and the let's just say those people into merchandise will have some profit from it, but no doubt you will profit more from than the people profit from this merchandise, the money, you know. So the mystery is who is God, you know. He just says like the universe is to come and the whole world must go according. This, you know, just this sentence, like the whole world must go according to the universe, because like I told you, you can go and say, okay, I'm going without the universe, but when the universe comes into your way, is either you step aside or you get recycled. This is just the way it is, okay? Not because the universe is like, I'm the powerful, you're the weak. No, it's because the universe always works for a higher purpose, for all. Like in this Ubuntu movement, if it's not good for all, it's not good at all. So you are just going separately and want to do your own thing without the universe, and there's not only one being doing that at the current state we have. There's a lot of people doing that, but coming back to the consciousness, they need to change. But that's why I told you, we need to give them time, patience, love. Because if we don't, we are not going according to the universe either. Because this is what I mean when people say we are killing in the name of God. Please think about that when you hear that. No need to criticize any religion. When somebody tells you that, I'm killing in the name of God, you should know that is nonsense. Because God is almighty. If He wants you alive, you stay alive. If He wants you dead, you dead. You're going to be dead. He is almighty. He created you. He's inside of you. He can make your heartbeat stop at the moment. So don't say, I'm going to kill in the name of God. Because that's senseless, okay? And to those people who hear that and read it in the internet, the newspaper, anywhere, when bad things happen, don't blame religion, and don't even blame those who do it. Because like Jesus said, they don't know what they do. Because they say, I kill in the name of God, and it's useless. There is like, you're saying, I'm doing this for my boss, but your boss didn't give you the permission for it. You just act selfishly, just on your own, and when your boss will discover it, you get fired. So you see, there's always an example that you can take in your daily life. And that's why it's important, this culture of forgiveness. because otherwise we're going nowhere. Those people that hear this bad stuff happening from terrorists, forgive them and understand that it's not a religion or a God or the community that they say they represent acting like that. No, it's the ignorance acting like that. And like Keras once said, uh, a being with higher understanding, with higher knowledge, cannot be killed by a lower one. And if it happens, you will see straight resurrection. This is what we learn from Jesus. So, to understand your culture is to go deeper into your daily life understanding and not going the wrong way. Because even Rahimullah says he needs to watch if he goes left or right, because it could mean death or a life. So it is always crucial that you first listen to what the information you get and transcend that. Like I told you in the movie of X-Men Apocalypse, you can never strike God, and that's true. And God is within you, so nobody will strike you unless you are disconnected from the universe. Because the universe wants you to join this community. This community is infinite. This is what we can't right now understand. I do, because thanks of my mother, and of course first thanks to God. For me, I don't want to come with hierarchy. But for me, God, the universe, is always first. So this doesn't mean that the beings are less. Because if God is for me first, He's the root. So everybody comes first for me. So you need to understand that culture goes much deeper than we think. And when we start to disrespect culture, we're going back to violence. Violence verbally, and it will escalate more and more. Today I discussed with my friend about the issue that we have here right now in Switzerland, about people talking for the burqa. You know that there's in Islam you have the women who needs to dress. You call them ninjas. Please don't do that, because it's disrespectful. And ninja is another culture, and you disrespect that too. So don't take things that looks the same and make fun of it. So they just, show their eyes only, and the rest is covered, because this is a culture. So I asked him, what do you think about it? I saw it in the newspaper that female politicians, they are against it. They say it's too much. I told him, you see, we have a problem here, because now we are going to a culture. That's why I'm doing this now. There's no coincidence. We need to discuss that, is what I told him. And then he said, yeah, but we have here this law that you cannot, hide yourself. It's called, like, if you mummy yourself, like a mummy from Egypt, just, cover everything. It's not allowed here in Switzerland. But that's because of violent things that happen from hooligans and so on. So I'm asking you right now, what is that woman now? Now then he said, yes, because underneath she can wear some bombs. Yeah, well, I can wear a jacket without being covered and can carry that bomb too. We're going to that place where we just, getting feared because we hear that the Islam is responsible for that. Like I told you before, it's not. You saw it with the priest in Paris. So we need the deeper understanding of it. And I told him, okay, here in Switzerland we have this so-called direct democracy, but if 51% says yes, we need to say it's not allowed that they walk around like that, and the other 50%, or let's just say the 49%, sorry for miscalculating, The other 49% say no. We have 49% of the population who said no, who will be, let's just say, not only disappointed, but a dissatisfaction will be there, because only the 51% will be happy. So you already have a misunderstanding in democracy. In democracy, where people earlier days decided if they do it or not, but together, because they discussed until there was a conclusion. But today, everything must go fast. Decision, yes, no. Don't think about it, just do it, you know. We are soldiers. We execute in according to the universal law, and the universal law is based on principles, and we always think before we act, because God's or the universe's laws are not written in stone, because an exception confirms the rules. So, this is a really tough discussion, but I just discussed with my friend, and you just see it when we discussed, he said that way, but then I proposed an idea. Nowadays we have all this technology. Now let's say this woman, they're still covering, and you see their eyes. And nowadays with you have a lot of cameras and apparatus that can check your eyes and see if it's your identity. That could work. So we could use technology, so we could leave their culture alone. This is like somebody comes into your country, and they think, because of course, for identity, there will be coming back, you need to show your face. And there we have the problem. You see, they don't want to show their face. They just show their face at home when their husband is around, and that's it. That's their culture. Respect it, because we have that in Morocco too. I know that. I saw that in Morocco, but I didn't think bad of it. This is something we need to learn. This is what makes a difference in the day for your life. To not going and judge, to observe and take it in and think about it. So I just want to bring that up. Some people in Switzerland maybe agree with me, some do not, but I say I'm not for that she need to wear it, and I'm not for that she can't that she can't wear it. So I'm not for that she need to stop to wear that, and I'm not for that she can continue. We need a solution that every part is satisfied, and it is possible, because a problem wouldn't be called problem if it has no solution, because otherwise it will call contrablem, and it's not contra, it's a problem. We always have problems, and everything has a solution. That's why in the universe there is always a solution. So we need to go deep into this culture stuff, because you see, in daily life it could give a chain reaction of discussions that could heat up to a certain point, where people will take it as an act of war. And I please everybody to calm down, think, not rational, feel. Okay, feel. Because I'm not blaming these female politicians here in Switzerland who say that. But before you do something like that, think about the reaction that will come out of it. Okay? We don't need no further misunderstandings. Explain yourself. Why do you think it's bad that they walk around like that? Because we have this law, and why is the law there? Because of what? And so on. If we have an incident where a woman dressed like that was involved in something bad, then we can go to further discussions. But I don't think that is the case, or maybe somebody just bring it up to discredit these people. So you see, we always, in this world, we have a lot of, we can't trust anymore, There could be so much false information, and so on. So I I'm trying to laying facts here that it's all about understanding your culture. And if you know your culture, now imagine somebody else will come and tell you, do you know, we we don't like that you dress up so let's just say with this short with this hot pants and all that stuff. That's too much for us. So you know but then they say, yeah, but there is no law that forbids it. You do the other thing, yeah, of course. But people are getting sexually abused because some individuals can't hold back when they see something like that, or maybe don't have a relationship with the woman, and so on. you know so we have a lot of stuff to discuss. If you watch my videos or not, I actually appreciate all those who already checked some of my videos. And I invite everybody, if you have something, write it in the comment. I can do in the weekend. I have time. I have to check if my laptop supports the streaming. I could do a streaming, and you can write all your your questions, and we can have a discussion. So where we talk about stuff that you like, that is important for you, or you think it's crucial. So back to the culture and the magic, because I didn't take that card to just leave it beside. There's another movie. I always recommend that because we can ignore the fact that we all had this uh, let's just say youth where we were raised up with TV and all that stuff. It's a part of it, and the universe sends us message through. Know that it has a mean to an end, and you're doing the best out of it, and then the higher consciousness will follow, higher civilization, and so on. There's a movie called The Gods of Egypt, I think. Go and check it. It's a good one. Hathor is there too, and actually a really beautiful lady, the actress there. So I'm asking you to always see the limit in this world, and the limit where you cross over into, like I told you with the tribes in the for the Native Americans. Are you ready to enter this area without hurting yourself? And this is not only by traveling, this is by going far. I'm not saying these female politicians here in Switzerland crossed over without knowing. I don't know, but I see when I see the media. You need to know the media can push things very high. So then you need to understand, if they present something you didn't want, you need to express yourself and come out, no matter how, in TV, in the internet. There's a lot of stuff where you can reach the world. But the best thing is in TV, where everybody sees you and people can, come and make a bombardment with questions and everything, and you just give straight answer, and it's all pure, because you don't feel bad about it. You just see, hey, the media was taking it wrong. Don't blame them, because somebody was listening. Oh yeah, she saw that. We all do mistakes. But then we have these people, who are stubborn and keep, discredit and pushing you in a corner. We see what happens, when KRS-One was on a hot seat. They couldn't take him. It's just not possible. If a higher consciousness is there, you can come, even if I don't speak good English. I could try to explain myself through a translator first, so with higher knowledge of English. But in Swiss German, I'm telling you straight, anybody can come and trying to tell me something. I just speak my cloud, and there is no doubt. Like I'm telling you, I'm putting these things online, and I'm talking about terrorism and all that stuff, because I see it affects us. It affects us even if we are not involved in the violent act. Okay? So I actually will travel the world later because I have some stuff here to do first. There's actually first my mom, um, and some other beings, invisible and visible, that I have to contribute to them because they were always there for me. Now I need to be there for them and clear their issues, and the burqa is one of them. So I'm asking you, please, if you want a discussion about something, if you go, I want to talk about that too because it's coming to culture again. A culture is an art, okay? Because we are a race, we are an art of living, and so on. And the same is with politics. Politics is the art of ruling the state. So if you are an artist and you are ruling the state, check first how you want to rule the state. Because you need to know one thing: on a boat, there is always a captain. But if the people on the ship working for the captain put themselves together, you know what happens. Everybody knows that. It's not necessary that they kill the captain, but they're gonna make a new order. Now, don't misunderstand me, because now people will say new world order and all that stuff. You know, I'm asking you to be aware of things that it comes into your mind before you speak it out. Because what does it mean, a new world order? I mean, if we're looking at the state that we have right now, a new world order, an order, would be nice. Now, the question is, who will be the inspiration for this new world order? And like I told you, I myself don't like to exclude people, no matter what, because there's always a reason why this being exists, and why bad things happened, and why the character of this person is like that, and so on. So there's a solution for it. Uh, to be specific about culture is you need to understand the letters in it. Okay, you see is, I mean, it's CU, but you have UC, so you see. And then you have, like, UT, utilize. You have RE, re again, utilize again, and you see. Utilize again what? The L, the love. So there's infinite ways how you can take words and take the letters, like met respect to KRS-One's wife, G. Simone. She likes to do that too with the acronyms, and I was inspired by that when KRS-One talked about it, about the word spirit. Something, I think she said, something pressing inside, revealing its truth. You see? You can take as much examples as you want, as long you have a purpose for it and you see a sense behind it. So for me, culture goes deeply. For me, culture goes deep because today, in the lunchtime, I saw this dead body, and I knew, I talked about it and said I will, and I did. Because what you speak, you need to do it too. Because the universe is not testing you. This is not a test, okay? Life is not a test. Life is something you need to appreciate and learn from it. It's not a test. We can test if the mic is working when I'm doing this video, but you cannot test life, because when you test life, you test God. You need to see that everything that you speak will come around in a certain way. And it depends how you speak to people. It's like right now, I'm asking people who do all this bad stuff, killing people and saying we're doing this in the name of God. I'm asking you, please stop. Because I forgive you, but the world will judge you because they are not ready for that. And you want to be a part of the society. So why do you put yourself in a position where you get excluded, and then people or beings like me have to come again and say we don't need people excluded. Don't put yourself beside out, don't, that's what I'm saying. Don't go against the universe. It's not good. It's not wise. Try to contribute. Try to change. Redemption, redemption song. And I want to go into that from Bob Marley because, that's the culture behind it. He says, how long? How long must they kill our prophets? And I'm telling you this straight now. I don't put myself in a higher position than others. I say no more is there killing of a prophet as long I am alive. And when I am dead, I'll promise you, you will have a non-violent society. Like I told you, I use my energy wisely. Everything I do has a meaning. So for those now who are offended, please step back and listen to me before you act against me. This is what I'm asking you and urging to think before you act. Because I'm not joking. I know who I am. I know when I was born. I remember my birth. This is not something I'm speaking out to put myself in a higher position. I'm speaking truth. I'm speaking my cloud. And you don't want that I speak my cloud in my original body. You don't want that. So the thing right now is here, we need to understand cultures. Okay? There are, like I told you, even this killing. This is a culture of your own, but it has no core, so it will have no future. This is, always going on. So you need to understand that the universe right now, you see people waking up every day, and it can be like I was listening to Michael Julius Tallinger when he said, like, we need to go into politics because people will come and shoot you down. I mean, if somebody, who has a good idea like that is, needs to go into politics because of that, because otherwise people will come and do stuff, that is over. We had enough marchers. And I'm aware of my reality, I'm surrounded of spirits that are with me and inspire me. And in the moment of my death, I fuse with them. And I come back into existence. You see what I mean? So this is the understanding behind it. Now you will think, but this guy was playing before games, even cursing others. Right, because I wasn't myself. Now I am aware, and you don't know, or maybe you know how much things have changed in my life. So this is what I want to share myself with the universe, because everybody can do it. The last mass murderer can do it and will be forgiven by the universe, because the universe is living in silence. So when you ask for forgiveness, you're forgiven, but show redemption. Change and don't go back. Watching back is not an option, because when Lot and his wife were rescued from Gabriel and Michael, the archangels, from Sodom and Gomorrah, they said, don't watch back. And she watched back and she turned into stone. Because she was not ready to let go all that bad stuff. So she wasn't ready for the kingdom of God. You see, there is always a deeper meaning, a deeper understanding behind behind Vedic scriptures. There is always, you need to read between the lines, okay? I think Mariah Carey says that in a song. It's not her, it's a cover, but she has a beautiful voice. And even she's saying, or she's covering this song where they say, I need to read between the lines. Because if you read between the lines, you will see the inner structure. And the inner structure is what I'm telling you all. For those people violent, terrorists, whatever. You're a part of the universe. But as you go against the universe, you're done. Okay? Because you are going against the source for a new age. And this is like you want to stop after winter that spring is gonna come. You say, no, I want summer now. You're wrong. You can't do that. This is nothing that now you said, but you said there's nothing written in stone. No, but this is a cycle. It's a naturally cycle. Maybe in spring it's going to be still cold because it's a different spring, that, but spring will come eventually. Okay? So, be yourself. Go inside into your culture. If you're not, if you don't feel comfortable in your culture, appreciate the culture that you lived in, but do something yourself. Like me, I'm creating my own culture, and my culture is based on spirits. Okay, so now just to show you, um, well, it's not live when you watch it, but I'm doing now this in front of the camera. Okay, so I'm doing this now, I'm mixing the cards. And now I will ask the universe something that you all will see, it'll give an answer. Now we talked about culture. Now let's see our future. If we connect to the universe and if we forgive even the last evil that was what happened. We forgive the killing of Mahatma Gandhi. We forgive the killing of the Jews by Adolf Hitler. We forgive all this killing from terrorists nowadays. We forgive the killing of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. We forgive the killing of John F. Kennedy. We forgive the killing of Abraham Lincoln. Let's see what the future has for us, what the universe has for us. Strange. Now look at that. Ha! Very, very interesting. You can see because of the light, but at least you see the card a little bit better. If I go closer. Well, I'm going to read it for you. It's thought. It's illumination. Architect of wisdom, enlightened communication. What do you want more? What do you want more? You have enlightened communication. So back to the room who was dark, you didn't see what you're doing. It's enlightened and you have communication. So it's clear communication. It's clear understanding when we speak to each other about the things, the problems that we have. It's like, we have a problems with you Europeans, you're always so arrogant. And then the other one goes, okay, but we have a problem because you take in all our wives because they like the exotics, and so on. So you will never lose your wife, like I said, if you have an inspiration with her. And that's why I'm telling you, before you go into a relationship, you need to be sure that it's gonna last before you put all your energy inside it, because when it break off, one part or both part, or just depends who, will be disappointed and fall into depression and so on. So the other thing is, when we had this card illumination, you know. So when we forgive all that, we will reach that state of being clear about us, each other, and we will have that community or coexistence. Because we talked about it, we come to a conclusion. Okay, look, uh, I'm not against this unity, because I do understand that there are higher beings than me, more powerful, and so on. Please give me my time. No problem. I'm telling you straight. Higher beings, the highest civilization that is in order with God, will give you this time. And that's the highest, let's just call it the highest authority in the universe giving you that time. So there is no other being interrupting, because the universe is acting in favor of you. Doesn't matter what you did, but you need to be honest. Because treason is something that we saw with Abraham Lincoln. What happens? He gets a large memorial, and he gets a higher being standing in front of it and saying, I have a dream. And this dream is coming true. You can't stop it. So, always know thyself, because then you know your culture, you know your religion, your connection, because it's religio, it's Latin. They call it the dead language. And I'm half Italian, so in Italian you have the word Latin already. Just a side note. So I hope I could bring you closer the word culture by explaining some daily life events that happen. And to come about magic and illumination, we have these two letters, M-U, M-U, okay? So why don't we put another M-I-A, Mumia? That's what I'm telling you. We need to see connections. The universe is speaking, and it it has always different messengers and with different kind of skills. Okay, so we need to understand that I know some people will be pissed off now because I was talking straight, and there is no doubt about it because I believe in it. I just want to tell you that the age of of acting violent against people who speak, who just speak their clout, not acting, because I could go out, quit my job, and go and speak to the people, and I assure you I will find people that agree with me in higher ranks, and I could start a revolution and everything, but I'm not doing it because it's not the time for it. But I have my insurance, and that's the universe. And until now, everything I wished came true, and my last wish will come true too, because I know that I'm right when I say we need to forgive each other. I just listened today again to again. I just listened today again to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and he said the same thing. Somebody in this world must have the courage. Somebody in this world must have some sense to meet physical violence or physical power with soul power. And we need that because otherwise we ain't going nowhere. Okay? I respect everybody. My perspective doesn't exclude anybody of you, even those wrongdoing, because I know what Jesus said on the cross. God forgive them because they don't know what they do. God forgives, but that doesn't mean that He's not bringing a plan up for the solution of it. So don't be the problem, be the solution, be welcomed, and not only tolerated in the universe. There's a really large difference between being tolerated and welcomed. Experience that in your daily life. Some people tolerate you. You will feel that when they talk to you, or they are just good and plain. But if you're sensitive and feeling, you will feel it behind the mask. So when you see somebody who is welcoming you, you will feel that. You will feel the hospitality and so on. So please don't misunderstand me when I said that about resurrection and all that stuff. But these are things we forgot. Our magic, you know. I could go, right now take up the third card, Now I'm going more, I said what we can reach. And now I ask in front of the camera, the universe, what is my future as I'm contributing right now, because I can't stop. I'm not tired anymore when I come at home. I have my purpose, so I'm going to continue no matter what. So, what is the future of Kareem Al Abdel Mula while I continue on this path and be true to it? You know, let's see. Hmm. Initiate the dove, trust, and innocence. So we all know in this world um, what happens when innocent people are accused and people know about it. So imagine that on the spiritual side, what will happen. Okay? I'm not saying I'm innocent. I'm trying to reconnect to my innocence, and nobody stands in my way. So, uh, I want to say thanks to you all for supporting me by just even a few minutes of it, that you put your energy, you witness some of the greatest things that will happen, not out of these videos, but of your understanding of it, because it will transform you. We're going back to these three cards because I leave it with three cards because we have the Holy Trinity. So we had magic, illumination, and then the innocence, right? Initiate, illuminated, magic. So magic, for culture stuff, people always talk about that voodoo and all that. That's what I'm saying. You all need to understand before you talk about something. Voodoo, when they say voodoo, they start to think, oh, black magic and all. That's not voodoo. Voodoo was always there. It's the universe, okay? So you need to see that magic is possible as long as you are true to your culture, okay? Live it, Be true to the principle, because my culture is based on forgiveness. Okay? I forgive. But at the same time, when I forgive, I need to see that the person that I forgive is not stepping into my way. Now you see, this is contradictory. You can't say you forgive, but he will hurt you, and then you can't forgive. No, then I forgive, but like I told you, now run, because you're not ready to see what will happen next. This is what I wanted to say. So, you need to understand the deeper meaning of certain things, you know. I tell you all this stuff because I talked with my mother when she was pregnant, when I was inside, you know, and not yet born, what she ate, um, what she was saying before I even was there, and so on. This attracts people. This attracts uh, the uh, being. So I just want to tell you, I am the free giving, generous servant of God. I know that I am not God the Almighty, but I am the servant of God, and I won't let myself just standing by and watching all this ignorance taking over. Because even if there's an empire, what I'm telling always to my mother is like, the whole entire universe could be against me, and that's why I chose this name for the email address, One Man Army, because I stand alone and I stand for God. If somebody wants to attack God, love, the innocence, I stand in front of it. They have to go through me first, but that'll be the end of it, because you will not reach God. Never. So, uh, I want to make myself clear that I believe in spirits, I believe in the universe, and that the universe is, of course, capable of defending itself. And yeah, you see, that was just unconscious speak, descending itself. But you don't want that. You don't want to see the universe descend as in this form, because if you would, it would scare the hell out of you, because this is like something infinite coming into being that is already inside of you. So you will be humble automatically. Uh, but I want to show that uh, I stand for my principles. So I stand in front of God and I'm humble. But nobody at the same time, while I am like that, will come from behind and do something, because I see around. I have this perspective. Okay? That's why I know when I talk about all that terrorism, people that hurt people, I know what's going on in your mind right now. And that's why I urge you and I recommend you, don't uh, be just tolerated, be welcome. Don't be the problem, because I know that I am not the problem, because I hugged the ex boyfriend of my mother, even though he did bad things. Bad things means not being loyal. And I know the stories, not just stuff that my mother tells me, something that I saw myself and experienced myself from him. Okay? So I hug this person and I still respect and love him still now. So don't misunderstand. I still have love for you too, dear terrorists. But know that innocent people are still in my heart too. So I don't exclude anybody. We need to understand that on the end, we need to meet all at one place, okay, where we can talk to each other and without any agitation. If you have an issue, go talk to people, go to shamans, let yourself heal before you go into discussions in a higher council. Okay, there will be always a council, not in the material world. In the spiritual world, there is already a council of higher beings. The council of the elders existed always, and there is God Himself, you know. He is the Trinity, and then we have the seven angels with the trumpets, we have the seraphims, and so on. These are facts, known facts. So, uh, people like, uh, uh, you see all these teachers in hip hop or in other, uh, mm, let's just say, cultures, yeah, other cultures or mm, artists around the world are waking up, even if they had other interests before. They see when they contribute to the universe, their talent gets expand more and more, and they can contribute to the universe again and gain more and more and more. So I'm giving you this because I feel for you, because I was, when I was young, like I told, I was that myself too. I wanted to hurt somebody in my class, and it was wrong. I changed. But you see, that was when I was 12 years old, or 11 years old, or 10 or something. And now, 24 years later, I'm different. So, no disrespect. Take your time. Take your 30 years. But stop that. Because it's not funny anymore. That's what I'm telling you. I can hear the stars saying, "You're too loud. You're making too much waves." And the stars are, I'm telling you, they are not funny. They can be funny in a kind of, when you joke with them, when you have a good relationship with the stars. But it's not funny to challenge the stars. This is what I want to tell you. So know thyself. Know that we are people, you have information that we were created by the Anunnaki. Okay? Yeah. Maybe we were created to be slaves, to work for something. Or maybe we were created to see, okay, now let's give them, a hard task. We will create them, and they need first to to be humble, because we created them. So they need to work for us. Those who complain will always be slaves. Don't misunderstand that what happened in history, okay? With anyway, with all this slavery. I'm just telling you now the facts from the Anunnaki to the creation of Adamu. So let's just assume, that's my perspective. So we create now this human race. They will be like slaves for us. They need to work for us. Those who complain will never reach the higher state. The others will reach the higher state, and they will become like us. They will be integrated in our society because they accepted their position and worked their way up, because without that you do something, you can't reach higher. Now let's assume that. But even if we were created genetically, there is still the soul that comes into that. So I see that like that, okay? If I would be a spirit, I would see these beings that started to create this flesh, and see the intention behind it. I would say myself, okay, I'm going there. I'm going to work for them as a slave or enslaved. But as you see right now, we have this enslavement with the money and all that. We have, this society we're living in right now. But if you transcend that, you see still you have your own home. You can go and buy stuff. You going to parties and so on. This is what other people do. I stay at home. I study. I contribute to the universe. I give a hand to everybody. If I see a dead animal, I put it back so it can come to a higher consciousness in his next incarnation, or maybe even don't have to incarnate, come into existence in a different way. So I'm trying to tell you, if they created us like that, I myself, a spirit, would do that to not complain and come into the state of them. But still, when I come out of the slavery to the position being in the of the same level and could do the same things, I still would be the servant, because that's my nature. So to be the servant is what also Jesus taught us. It's important to be the servant, because you will be humble. Okay? So I know that everything that will happen for a reason, but always know the consequences. I know the consequences why I will put this video on YouTube. I know the consequences. I know it exactly, and I'm ready, man. Okay? I just want to tell you, I have right now here the Phoenix. It's for immortality. I have here the 11 signs of the zodiac. I have the Virgo, it's the innocence. I have here Ethiopia, for Haile Selassie. I have here the Garuda, it's the firebird of Krishna. I have here the pentagram with the name of Jahwe, of God. It's also the sign of Morocco and the present sign of Ethiopia's flag. And I have here something new. It's an angel. You have the name of Jahwe. You have the name of Yeshua, of Jesus Christ. You have Gabriel. You have Michael. You have Uriel and Raphael. And you have the infinity sign. And you have the Alpha and the Omega. And here you have the dove of Shekinah. So I'm trying to tell you that I'm coming with symbols for showing you my purpose, my roots. And that's why I want to recommend you, take your time, step back. Don't be just tolerated, be welcome. Don't be the problem, be the solution. So I want to end this video by just referring to Mahatma Gandhi, and it says, an eye for an eye will make the whole world blind. And I want to end this video with the sentence because it's going deep. Okay? This means, like, if you're hurting me and you say, now, yeah, he says something like he can come back and then he will hurt me, I will not hurt you. I will just end your reign of terror. And you will have to live inside the society where there is no more terror. This is like, for you, I can imagine it will be the worst thing. And I assure you, you're going to end your life by yourself, because you don't want to live in that, because you can't exist in something that has a real deep core and consciousness, and you will break down eventually. That's why I'm saying, be the solution and not the problem, because you are a solution. You are soul, S-O-U-L, Lu, and then you put T-I-O-N. Now the T transform into a Z, and you have Zion. The solution from Zion. Okay? So, see you all spiritual beings. Greet the whole entire universe. Big respect to everybody. Forgiveness for everybody. You are the creator of your own reality. And no doubt, I'm still your servant. Peace.